What's up, everybody? It's your boy BULLBOYKENNELS. Today got a little video here for you. It's more just like a short review, so I'm not gonna go into any crazy depth about the movie because I just don't want to spoil it for you. But that movie is none other than How to Kill Monsters. Yeah, now this is a pretty funny movie. When they say popcorn movie, this is definitely one of those movies you want to go ahead and get your popcorn bucket out. It's just goofy, funny, a bit over the top at times. And then other times it kind of leaves you like, what the fuck? It kind of has you thinking that way at times. But anyways, pretty much with the movie itself, it kind of starts off with the main character, Jamie. She's basically, meeting up with her boyfriend. They're going to this old, broken down house. And he's meeting up with his old college buddies. But apparently, he worked at a place that has some kind of I don't know, I guess you call it an ancient weapon type of deal. So, his friends wanted to pretty much conjure up this demon. So that's why he ended up, stealing the weapon to be able to do so. Except for he didn't know that, his friend's plot was to use his girlfriend as the sacrifice because they needed a sacrifice to bring back the demon. Now, eventually the girl ends up getting locked up. So she gets put in prison and she's there with another girl. I want to say the girl's name was Big Jenny. I know definitely her name was Big and then something else, but I believe it was Big Jenny. Now, while she's locked up in the jail cell, another group of folks get locked up. It's all a whole group of girls, 4 different girls. And some of them are a little sassy. Some are a little bit more calm, and then one's kind of, I guess you could say nerdy in a way. That's the other group of folks that got locked up. Now they do end up teaming up together to battle these demons or monsters. I don't know why I keep saying demons, but to battle these monsters, that keep invading. So they end up killing some of them. But the girl Jamie, she knows that, hey, we need to get rid of the main monster, which does end up showing itself, later on through that movie. But the problem is that the demon did take over the body of Jamie, which is the one that's trying to figure out a way to kill the demon or monsters. But in reality, she's really trying to figure out a way on how to free the monster itself. She just doesn't know that at this point. She doesn't find out, but the group finds this out a little bit later on throughout the movie. Now, the movie is funny as hell. I mean, it's a comedy horror. It's mostly comedy, some funny kills, especially with Big Jenny. Poor girl. She went coochie first through them jail cell bars. Yeah, that was pretty funny. That shit had me laughing. It did. I found it to be really, really entertaining. So, I mean, there were definitely a lot of good aspects of the movie. Would I recommend folks to buy it? It depends. If it's your cup of tea, if you like that type of horror where it's mostly comedy, then yeah, I would say definitely go ahead and buy that one, pick it up. It would definitely be worth it. If you don't want to spend the money on it, see if you can stream it somewhere. Because I do know at least with this one, I don't know if they have a regular edition of it, but I know at least with this one, it was limited to 2,000 copies. And I mean, that could just be because it's the autographed version. It's autographed by the director and the main the main character that plays as Jamie. So, there's definitely that. As far as the sound, I believe this was a 5.1. Sound was good. It was decent. Not anything to write home about, but it was definitely good. It definitely had its moments where the audio definitely did shine at certain parts. So that was good. Wasn't a bad audio track. It was, I would say definitely good. If I had to give it, like from 1 to 10, I would say solid 6, and that's not being bad audio. I mean, that's, good audio. So I would definitely give it a 6 out of 10. Video quality, 6.5, 7. I mean, the movie was shot well. It is kind of stylistic in a bit, or in a way, it definitely is. I mean, but unfortunately, a lot of these new movies now are all being made in like stylistic style. So, there's that. Now, when it does come to the CGI part, you can tell they didn't have a lot of budget for that. So that does look a little funky. But good thing is there's not like a whole lot of CGI that they were doing. Definitely a lot of practical effects, which was good. Especially like with the creatures and stuff, or the monsters. Those definitely look like they were using practical effects and not a bunch of crazy CGI stuff for it. But yeah, I mean, overall, I really enjoyed this movie, and I'm not a comedy person, and I enjoyed it. I think it's, the way they mix the killing, and then like trying to incorporate like the horror aspect of it, but still keeping it very, very comedic. So, that's pretty much my thoughts on that. But like I said, is it a movie worth watching? Definitely. I would definitely recommend to watch this movie at least one time. And if horror comedy is your thing, then for sure, this is something you do definitely want in your movie collection or your repertoire, or just something to rotate through. Definitely something I would definitely watch again. Would I watch it again soon? No, not really. Now it doesn't really have a lot to do with the movie itself. Just has to do with, I have a lot of movies, so I got a lot of movies I still have to watch, get through, and then there's other movies that I really, really love that I'm gonna rewatch. Kind of like with The Goonies. I've watched that a million times. And I know with like today, my wife and daughter, we were all together at the same time. So they're like, oh, let's watch a family movie. And, I was here pretty much the whole day by myself, just watching horror movies. So I was like, okay. I was like, what you want to watch? Then my daughter's like, oh, okay, let's watch The Goonies. Sure, why not? I'll watch it. And granted, like I said, I've watched it like a million times. So, that's a movie I don't mind rewatching. I grew up on it as a kid. It was definitely during my time. So stuff like that I will rewatch, a little more often than, I would watch this one, but still definitely a good movie to watch. And I think you would really enjoy it, especially with, some of the kills that they had with these monsters. It was pretty funny. And the way the way some of the humans were getting killed, I think you would really, really enjoy that. Is it on the level of like Art the Clown, people getting killed? It's not on that level, but they did have some really, really good kills with ripping body parts and heads and stuff. So really, really good. Like I said, I don't want to spoil the whole like movie for you. That's why I don't want to get into like details of it. But there is a part of the movie where you may end up doing what I did, which is restart the movie, because I did have to restart the movie. And yeah, they kind of got me really good with that one. I was like, man, is there something wrong with my disc? Like, why is it playing like that? So if you end up doing what I did, which was restart the movie, you'll understand why I did that. And like I said, they definitely got me really good with that. It's not something you really see very, very often. But the way the way they did that shit definitely got me good. So, just be on the lookout for that, because you may end up restarting your movie like I did. And then you're going to find out. Yeah, you're just going to find out. So I'll leave it at that for you. But anyways, hope you, definitely check out the movie. Give it a watch. Like I said, I don't know if it's on streaming or not. Something you're going to have to find out for yourself to see if it is. But it was definitely a fun watch. So like I said, if horror comedy is your thing, this is a movie you want to add to your watch list. You're definitely going to enjoy it. Other than that, hey, it's been your boy Boy Kennels. And as always, keep them scratching. Peace. We up out of here.